Hey, you've probably heard this before that in order to get something, you've got to be willing to pay, put something in return. You can't get something without having to pay the price. And to pay the price is what we're going to be talking about today. And so welcome to another episode of the Conquistador Podcast. My name is Mauricio Garcia. Always an honor to have the opportunity to be here. And as always, I'm joined by my friend, mentor, my partner in business, Mr. Hubert Humphrey. Thank you for doing this every day, Hubert. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Just excited about these last couple of days this week. We got some great things for them.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Today's great topic. I think when we're trying to get the good things in life, right? Especially win in business, we've got to be willing to pay the price. And I know there is somebody... there's many examples and many great coaches, leaders, entrepreneurs, conquerors that we can quote and learn from. Today, I want to learn from Vince Lombardi, greatest coach of all time. He says you've got to pay the price, and he definitely paid the price. Take the Packers to be the great team, the legends that they are today. So let's elaborate on that. What did Vince Lombardi mean by having to pay the price?
Well, it's just pretty simple. If you don't pay the price, you don't get the thing you want in life.
Right.
That's what it is. Success is a pretty tough taskmaster in anything. You can't lose the weight unless you eat right. You can't build muscle unless you create the resistance. Sure. You can't win in anything without paying the price. But he had some business philosophies that he embedded into his people, because he couldn't do it by himself. A coach can't get out on the field and tackle anybody, can't catch the ball, can't throw the ball, can't kick the ball. He's got to coach the people. So the whole key is that he has to take that philosophy and drill it into the hearts and minds of his players, and he did that probably better than any other football coach out there. He won the first he won 5 straight NFL league titles. He won the first 2 Super Bowls. The big Super Bowl trophy with the big old silver football up on it today that all the great teams today aspire to get every year is named for him. So he's an authority at it. Let's just read a couple of quotes from him, and then we'll break it down right quick.
Okay,
Mauricio.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
He said everybody knew where he stood on winning. In other words, there was nobody in the National Football League or on his team or any sports writer that was writing about him or TV commentator, they knew where he stood on winning, paying the price. He was big on paying the price. He said winning is not a sometimes thing, it's an all-the-time thing. You don't win once in a while. You don't do things right once in a while. You do them right all the time. Winning is a habit. So just we'll break that down. Just that one sentence, that one little couple of sentences there. Let's just talk about that, because that's the key. It's not a casual thing with him. It's not something you show up. I tell you what, we're going to try to win this afternoon, but we're not going to try it tomorrow. I mean, you have got to carry that message with you. It's got to get inside your heart and mind, and it becomes a way of life. Everything you do is you're driven by this feeling of winning. It becomes a habit, and it spills over into all phases of your life. If you can't just be excellent over here and choose mediocrity in these other 3 or 4 phases of your life. You may not be quite as excellent there as you were in one thing, but you need to be pursuing it. It's the pursuit of excellence that's the key. It's the keeping a habit. Something can't be a habit if you don't keep doing it all the time. Is that right? I mean,
Absolutely.
A habit is something that you sort of do all the time. That's what he's basically saying.
I would even say that a habit is you almost don't even think about it. Is part of you. You do it even without having to think about it.
It's your new second nature. It's instinctive. You're right.
Exactly.
Absolutely. He says on the next day, he says, running a football team is no different than running any other kind of organization, like a army or a political party or business. The principles are the same. The object is to win, to beat the other guy. It's pretty simple. In a business like ours, it's a race for outlets. It's a race for market share. It's a race for the hearts and minds of all these people to show them that we've got a better way. And And we've got that's what competition. It's a competition for that out there, and it's like in that book, Waging Business Warfare. It's a war out there. It's not going to be easy, but it'll be worth it. So he's telling you right up front that you got to embed that into any organization that you're involved with, especially entrepreneurial things.
Speak to aggressiveness, right? In a way, it kind of reminds of one of the podcasts we've had. That you've got to go out there, have this winning mentality, make it into a habit, but also act with aggressiveness.
Yeah.
To win.
Well, that's right. Well, we talked about that before in the one of the Top Gun manuals that I saw years ago. It talked about on every page aggressiveness, 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 and it said without aggressiveness, all of your other capabilities are useless. That's a pretty strong statement. In other words, you can have everything else out there, but if you're not aggressive, they'll never be put to use.
The ironic thing about it is
you can have all these muscles, and if you never go lift anything, it didn't do any good.
Yeah, but they don't teach you that in school. That's the ironic thing, is they teach you everything except how to be aggressive.
That's right. Well,
it's like just teach me how to be aggressive then, and
Well,
I guess with that aggressiveness, I'll go learn whatever I need.
Yeah, but see, that's where the great coaches and the great mentors and out there that get into these concepts like learn from Alexander and other great leaders, and they go teach other people and inspire them. That's where the aggressiveness comes from. You can't get it out of books. You can't get it out of a school. You get it out of following people who have become aggressive, learned the power of aggressiveness, and are teaching these things here. Another one of his quotes, he says, "I've never known a man worth his salt who in the long run, deep down in his heart, didn't appreciate the grind, the discipline." There's something in good men that really yearns for and needs discipline in the harsh reality of head-to-head combat. So he's telling you like it is there. You got to like the grind. You got to like the fight. You got to like the getting knocked down and getting up again. It's just you got to like the defeats as much as you like the victories. You got to like the blows you're taking as much as the blows you're delivering. You got to have that kind of a full-blown aggressiveness that you like it. It's like having this passion for a mission. You got to have you got to love it.
It's that mentality. It comes to my mind. I think this is from Muhammad Ali. Somebody asked him, how many sit-ups do you do? He's like, I don't know, because I only start counting after it hurts. It starts hurting. So I guess what I'm saying is like you've got to love the pain. Pain's progress, and maybe it's why so many people quit. That they don't understand that's like you've got to learn to love the process, even though it's going to be the painful.
Well, you've got what it takes to be a winner. If when you're out there suffering and you're running, if you're trying to condition yourself to run a marathon, well, you got to get out there and do a lot of running every day, a little further, and you can't hardly breathe. But you're doing it, and you say, listen, I know that I'm beating most of the field right now. They're not feeling like I have. They've already quit. I love this pain. It makes you aware that you're on the course to greatness. The more the pain, the real winner realizes that it's not something you want to go quit. It's something to rejoice in, that, man, I'm feeling something that I know these other guys aren't feeling. Exactly. I know I'm preparing in a way they're not preparing. They're not going to put up with the pain. I used to tell Norma, my wife, when we were building this business, and I was going catching the plane, flying all over the country, building outlets everywhere, gone 200 and 300 nights a week from home a year for 2 or 3 or 4 years, just building all over the country. And she says, Hubert, are you ever going to slow down? You think somebody's going to beat you? I said, no. I said, I know nobody is as crazy as I am. Nobody's going to go pay this price that I'm paying. Nobody's going to do it. And it gave me great power, and it pushed me forward. So you got to love it.
Well, and that's why nobody build those $2 billion market cap companies in the financial industry from independent professionals.
But they could have, and they can today. People can build great things and dwarf anything I've ever done, but they're going to have to love it like I did. They're going to have to do it like I did. It can be done. I'm not saying I'm the only guy who can do anything, but but you're gonna have to get up early and stay up late, and you're gonna have to love it. You gotta have to love the process. I mean, I've been doing this thing. I'm doing this for 40 years, and I hope to do it 50. I'd love to do it 60. You know, you know, they say now that we all got a shot at living a whole lot longer. Well, that means I can do it longer. That's the way I look at it in my mind. So it's that Lombardi's talking the right stuff. And then the last little quote we've got from him is that I firmly believe that any man's finest hour, the greatest fulfillment to all that he holds dear, is that moment when he has worked his heart out in a good cause and lies exhausted on the field of battle. And that's the key. When you know you've let, all you can do is all you can do. Art Williams wrote a great book one time about all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. Do that. The key is to just do powerful. It. Leave it out there on the field. You know, don't say, man, I wish I'd have tried a little harder. Man, I wish I'd have done it. I watched some of these sports teams today in the playoffs, like the NBA's playoffs are going on right now to decide on who the champion will be in a month. And these guys will go out and they'll play like heck for a game. Then the next game, they look like they don't even look like the same team. The other team just blows them away. Then they go back home, they talk about it, and they all get together and say, well, we got to try harder. None of us worked real hard this game. And they come back and they play hard the next game. What? It's like they turn it on and they turn it off. It's stuff missing in today's sports. It's missing in today's just life in general, business and in politics and in our military. I mean, we got to have some passionate people that are doing things all the time.
It's just like, well, we'll just do enough, right? Just enough to justify whatever getting paid or. Yeah. Well, I see it. Many places you go to get us just enough. You know, that reminds me of this great definition of what a job is. The definition of it. There's a lot of definitions of a job, but one of them is you're doing. They're paying you just enough to keep you from quitting, and you're doing just enough to keep them from firing you. And so both parties are just doing just enough. And that's our society today. It's true, and you see it all over. Well, that's why less than 1% truly succeed, because only 1% ever develop the ability to love the pain, understand the pain is progress, and just rejoice in that and know that.
But I want the people listening out there I want the people to know out there that, for example, we got 400 plus million people in this country, and 1%, that means that there's several million out there that could do it. That 1% is a lot of people, and I want these people to say, man, I'm one of those. You know, I can do it, and I know you can. I've seen people from all walks of life that nobody would have paid any attention to. Most companies wouldn't have hired them, and I've seen them get mentored, get lined up with the right system, and just do something fantastic.
And are doing it. I think the one thing is in your book. It's right here on this book said, hey, the best kept secret or the biggest secret is that you, speaking to the general public, you could become a millionaire. Meaning you have it in you. You've got everything. So it could literally be 99% that have the capacity, the
usually that 5 or 10% that they're missing is that they don't have that system. They got everything. Boy, if you put me a system in this passion and drive and willingness, some of them have shown the willingness to take punishment because they've been working themselves to death with an inferior system. That proves they've got what it takes. They just need to get a right alignment with the right system, the right people, and look what they'll accomplish then. That's the message that we sell in our company to people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great people doing a lot of great things out there, but there's no telling if you took that same passion and put it in with this system and this mentoring, I think your odds go up in your favor.
Absolutely. Well, listen, instead of ending it on the way the society is, where you're just doing enough not to get fired, and employers just paying you enough not for you to quit, I'll say let's adopt that other mentality where all you can do is all you can do, but all you can do is enough. I mean, you gave it all, you put it all on the line, which has to do with Vince Lombardi's last quote you just read. And so, great podcast today, Hubert. I think we've got to understand if we want something, we've got to go out there, got to pay the price. Any last comments for today?
We've got too many people today that are being raised up in this world of thinking about the entitlement era, and they don't, and they penalize winning, they penalize champions, they penalize superstars. We can't let that dominate our mindsets. We've got to go out there and keep this whole thing. There's no need to be a free enterprise country. There's no need to be an entrepreneur if there's not going to be any competition and any rewards for being a better competitor. Mm-hmm. And so that's the message I tell you today. Is we got it. We just got to know that. Don't look for the easy route. Be willing to pay the price. Winners win, and Vince Lombardi, not Vince Lombardi, but General Patton says, winners win and losers lose. He said the best way to win is to refuse to lose. It's just, and I always thought that was some of the most commonsensical thing he could have said. That's another way of saying what Lombardi has said here.
Well,
let's do it.
I'll add the fact that especially for everybody that is with us today, you are a step closer. Just for tuning in and consuming this type of content, you're much closer to winning. But before you go, I want you to get closer here. I want you to sharpen your listening here to what I'm about to tell you, because I'm going to reveal a secret. I talk about it every day, but today, more than any other day, I want to truly encourage you to go and check out what I know is the best opportunity in America today. The reason I say I know that, because it's changed my life. I know that because guess what? Money is the one thing that touches everyone's lives. Every single day, it doesn't matter, where you come from. You need money to be able to buy the things, the services that you need to donate, to get projects going, etc., etc. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that all the wealth in the world today is moving. And if you are aligned with the right system that teaches people how money works and the strategies and the concepts, and it's got the right product, the most innovative products to maximize the potential of people's wealth, that's how you make a lot of money. And there's a system right now that is designed by my mentor, Hubert Humphrey. Was designed. It's revolutionized the money industry for the last 4 decades in a row, and is doing it again in a much more powerful way than ever before because of technology, because there's more wealth now than ever, because of many things. I'm not going to spend the next 15 minutes explaining here. That's why I'm inviting you to go to the hgiopportunity.com website, hgiopportunity.com. Listen to what Hubert has to say about why you have to consider building, starting out a business in the money business or in the money industry, and you'll get the big picture. So go there now, hgiopportunity.com. You can thank me later. Thank you so much for tuning into this podcast, spending some time with us. Hopefully you got a lot of value. And Hubert, as always, thank you for everything you bring to this great project. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.
All right. See you later. Thanks, guys.
Warning. This podcast may change the way you think about business, entrepreneurship, and money forever. The Conquistador Podcast was created for dreamers, entrepreneurs, and leaders who want to conquer their future. To be an epic entrepreneur, you must adopt the right mental paradigms as well as master the art of selling, marketing, and finance.